So it is now my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Kurt Hagman. Kurt Hagman, Supervisor Hagman, serves as San Bernardino County's 4th District, one of the largest and most dynamic regions in Southern California, representing hundreds of thousands of residents across a diverse and rapidly growing area of the Inland Empire. His leadership spans communities that play a major role in the economic growth and future of our region. Before joining the County Board of Supervisors, he served as mayor and council member for the city of Chino Hills and later served in the California State Assembly. Throughout his career, Supervisor Hagman has focused on strengthening economic opportunity, supporting local businesses, improving transportation and infrastructure, and building partnerships that create opportunities for students and families alike. And he's been a very good friend to the university. So please join me in warmly welcoming San Bernardino County 4th District Supervisor Kurt Hagman.
Good evening, everybody. What a pleasure to be here. It's truly a privilege to be with you here today, and thank you for that generous introduction. President Risa Dixon, trustees, graduates, faculty, staff, families, and friends, thank you for allowing me to share in this moment with you. Days like this remind us of something essential. We never arrive at our destination alone. Behind every graduate is a community of people who encouraged you, challenged you, supported you, and believed in you, sometimes before you are fully ready to believe in yourself. So to the class of 2026, and to all those who got you here, congratulations. As President Dixon mentioned, I currently serve as a San Bernardino County Supervisor. But long before public office, and long before official titles, I was simply someone who cared about the place where I lived. I grew up believing that if you wanted to improve your community, as any Eagle Scout like myself would attest to, you quickly learn that you can't wait for someone else to fix it. You show up, you volunteer, you listen, ideally more than you talk, and you try to help. At that time, I didn't feel like it was much, just small things, ordinary things. But I come to learn from all those small moments are rarely small at all. A conversation at a meeting, a decision about a road, a building, a budget, a quiet, uncertain idea someone's willing to try. On their own, these never seem like transformative moments. But over time, they connect, shaping outcomes far beyond what anyone can see in plain sight. That idea has followed me throughout my life. One of my first roles was serving as a Park and Recreation Commissioner in Chino Hills. Now, I'll admit, I didn't expect to be such front row seat to local government in action. If you ever seen the show Parks and Recs, I can confirm it's not exactly a documentary. But the people, just as colorful and vibrant, just as committed, just as opinionated, and just as deeply invested in the things you may not expect, like the exact placement of a tree or the height of a bench. At first, it seemed a little specific, but I quickly realized that they weren't just benches and trees. They were gathering places, baseball fields, family outings, everyday moments that would become one that people would look back on years later on their camera rolls or in picture frames. That was one of my first real lessons. A community doesn't arrive fully formed. It's built piece by piece by people who care enough to pay attention. From here, I had the opportunity to serve on the City Council, as mayor, in the State Assembly, and now the Board of Supervisors. And in every role, I've seen the same truth play out. What begins locally rarely stays local. Ideas grow, connections form, impact ripples outward. One decision made in a recreation center after a youth basketball service can reach farther than anyone in that room can imagine. because public service, like any meaningful work, is ultimately about people. And that brings me to you. You are stepping into a moment where the scale of the challenge is global and the pace of change relentless. Artificial intelligence is reshaping the industries almost overnight. Automation is transforming the workforce, and entire professions are evolving in real time. That can feel exciting, but it also feels very overwhelming. The boundaries between the physical and digital world, between what is human and what is machine, are becoming harder to define. For some, that creates uncertainty. But I want to offer you a different way to think about this. Every generation experiences a moment when the world shifts and asks them to respond. This very moment, it's yours. And I would argue, as your professors who guided you, your families and friends who saw every late night and long hour, and perhaps most important, that quiet inner voice that never lets you give up, you are uniquely prepared for this moment. You've asked the hard questions, you engage with different perspectives, you tackle problems without clear answers, you keep going even when the path changed mid-step. The real challenge in this work isn't simply keeping up with change, it's deciding how to see it and how to use it. I was thinking about that recently, and it took me back to when, shows my age, when calculators first came on and showed up in the classroom. Now, at that time, it felt revolutionary. There were real concerns, serious ones, that students would stop learning how to think, that the tool would do the work for us. Sound familiar? But the point isn't the calculator, nor the internet, nor the iPhones. It's the lessons underneath it. Every generation encounters new tools that change the way we live and work. The question is never whether change will happen. It will. The question is what you choose to notice and what you choose to do with it while it's happening. Do you let technology narrow your thinking or expand it? Do you move faster without reflection, or use that speed to act with greater intention? Because technology doesn't make those decisions, you do. You've been trained to analyze, to make sense of complexity, to move forward when the path isn't clearly laid out. Now, you'll be asked to apply that in a world where the stakes are higher and the changes are faster. And in that world, no algorithm replaces judgment. No systems replaces empathy. No advancement replaces the human ability to listen, to understand, and to care. If anything, those qualities become more valuable as technology develops, which means your role isn't just to innovate, it's to bring humanity with you as you do, to ask, what can we build and who does this serve? And what is possible, yet also responsible? That's the kind of leadership the world needs. And it's the kind of leadership you are ready to provide. As you leave here today with your advanced degrees, your titles, your accomplishments, remember this: the most important forces shaping your life and the world around you will not always announce themselves. They'll look like passing conversations. They'll be those rapid-fire decisions made in a quick reply to an email, moments you can easily overlook. But trust me, just like those early days I mentioned, as I sat in rooms talking about park benches, this is where the real impact starts. Quietly, gradually, and then all at once. There's a rock outside of Founders Hall, set in a place that no one can haul it off, that generations of students have painted, knowing full well that what they paint may not make it to sunrise. And if this teaches us anything, it's this: You don't wait for the promise of permanence. You show up, say and do the things that truly matter, and trust it will reach further than you can see. So pay attention, stay curious, listen carefully, lead with intention, and wherever your paths take you, whether the fields of policy, healthcare, education, business, technology, or the humanities, remember, the future won't be shaped by technology alone. It will be shaped by people who understand how to use it in the service of others. And looking at all you today, I can say with confidence, our future is in very good hands. Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you all for having me here today.